Across vast stretches of farmland in America, the relentless rise of feral hogs has turned fertile soil into a battlefield. Farmers who once expected to see neat rows of corn or soybeans at dawn now find their land shredded into deep craters, irrigation lines destroyed, and crops swallowed in a single night. What appears to be the aftermath of a natural disaster is actually the devastating footprint of wild boars. These invasive animals cause billions of dollars in agricultural damage every year, threatening not only crops, but also ecosystems, livestock, and the livelihoods of entire rural communities. Their destruction is not random, it is fueled by biology. A small group of hogs can expand to hundreds in just a couple of years, and unlike cattle or deer, these opportunistic omnivores devour everything in sight, from tender seedlings to ground-nesting birds. Yet the most dangerous trait of feral hogs is not their hunger, but their intelligence. Researchers describe them as social learners. When one escapes a poorly set trap, the whole herd avoids it. Mothers pass down this wariness to their young, creating a cycle of cunning survival that challenges human persistence. Early farmers relied on primitive methods, digging deep pits camouflaged with leaves and branches, or setting snares made from wire loops along hog trails. These traps reflected ingenuity and hard labor, but they had severe limitations. A pit might capture one unlucky animal while the rest of the herd continued their rampage. Snares were portable and cheap, yet they often caught only juveniles, or worse, unintended wildlife like deer fawns. These techniques revealed the desperation of communities fighting an overwhelming invasion. But they also highlighted a painful truth. Against herds of 20 or 30 hogs, simple tricks were powerless. As the feral hog crisis escalated, steel engineering replaced shovels and ropes. Heavy cage traps with spring-loaded doors became the most common solution. Farmers baited them with corn, hoping to capture 2 or 3 animals overnight. While durable and reusable, they often failed after the first catch, as surviving hogs quickly learned to avoid them. In pursuit of greater results, landowners turned to automated drop-gate traps armed with cameras and remote sensors. From a smartphone or laptop, a farmer could watch live footage and trigger the gate at the perfect moment, sometimes securing entire herds of 20 or more in a single event. Yet these systems came with a crushing price tag, often between $10,000 and $15,000. And one small mistake, such as closing the gate too soon or leaving behind the scent of blood, turned the investment into frustration. Then, a surprising breakthrough emerged. Not from high-tech machinery or AI, but from a simple net system called the Pig Brig. At first glance, it seemed unimpressive, just a circle of netting staked into the ground with no doors, no steel, and no electronics. Yet it worked with the hogs' natural instincts. They pushed their way in easily, drawn by corn spread inside, and once inside, the flexible net closed behind them. Unlike rigid cages, there was no obvious exit, making escape almost impossible. For just $200, farmers could capture 30 to 40 hogs in one night, something steel systems costing 50 times more could not consistently achieve. Ranchers who followed the conditioning process, allowing hogs to feed safely inside the net before deployment, reported massive success. One Texas rancher eliminated 32 hogs in a single capture. Including pregnant sows that would have produced hundreds more. The Pig Brig represented more than just affordability. It marked a shift in philosophy, proving that patience and instinct could outsmart brute force and expensive technology. In other parts of the world, farmers took different approaches. In Brazil, where nets and steel cages were impractical, some landowners built continuous trenches around their fields. One farmer, João Ferreira, dug barriers over a meter deep, creating medieval-style earth walls to shield his crops. Within weeks, hog damage dropped by 85%, and soon his neighbors joined what became known as the Trinchera Revolution. It was a labor-intensive strategy, demanding time, teamwork, and sheer determination, but it reminded the farming world that resilience could succeed where technology sometimes failed. Yet in the 21st century, the fight against feral hogs once again shifted into the digital realm. Artificial intelligence and remote monitoring became the latest weapons. Smart traps equipped with motion sensors, high-definition cameras, and AI analysis allowed farmers to watch herds in real time. With a single tap on a phone, gates dropped at the exact moment when the entire group was inside. In southern Texas, one rancher used this system to capture 27 hogs at once without leaving his home. For the first time, technology offered precise control and near-perfect timing. But victory came at a steep cost. These smart systems often exceeded $10,000 and demanded constant maintenance, reliable internet, and technical expertise that many small-scale farmers simply could not afford. Even when hogs are finally captured, Another challenge emerges: what to do with the carcasses. Many communities bury them in deep trenches to prevent disease spread, while others burn or compost them to avoid attracting scavengers like coyotes and vultures. In some regions, the meat is salvaged, but only when cooked to at least 160 degrees Fahrenheit to eliminate parasites. Too often, mistakes are made. Carcasses left in the open create new problems, from foul stench to secondary invasions of predators. This reality reveals a harsh lesson. Catching the hog is only half the battle, and true success requires discipline in handling the aftermath. From ancient pit traps to AI-driven systems, the story of feral hog control reflects more than just a struggle against animals. It is a testament to human ingenuity, persistence, and adaptation. Each method carries lessons of trial and error, frustration and triumph. The deeper truth is that the fight is not only against wild hogs, but also against the limits of endurance, creativity, and cooperation in rural life. And as populations continue to explode across America and beyond, the battle is far from over. The next chapter explores what happens when trapping turns into large-scale hunting, and when wild hogs are not only captured but processed on an industrial level. This is not just a story of pests, it is a global challenge, a test of resilience, and a fight that defines the balance between humans and the wild.